The older the wine, the finer it is. Age is just a number. But is it the same in all aspects, especially in sports? Let's see if it's true or not. In today's video, we will be seeing the list of the 10 oldest NBA players in history. Without much delay, let's get on with the list. Number 10, John Stockton. It's rare to see someone like him on the basketball court.
Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals!
Because he was one of the greatest players in the NBA who lacked the look of an athlete. The 6' 1" man weighed 170 pounds, didn't please many audiences at first glance due to his appearance. It is surprising that this skinny white guy not only became one of the legendary players of the NBA, but also someone who actively played the sport for a very long time. He played 19 NBA seasons, and in 17 of them, he didn't even miss one game. He barely missed 22 games and played almost 1,504 games, making him one of the top players to achieve such a mark. Another thing that made him stand out among other players is the fact that he does sweat. Basketball is a hectic sport to play, but if you see John after one game, you'll think about where he was playing or was a substitute who was waiting for his turn on the side bench the whole time. His teammate Karl Malone always finds this thing amusing. John is one of the most hardworking players in NBA history because he never took a day off during his entire career. Wow, that seems like a serious workaholic problem. He said he didn't have anything to distract him from training and playing the game. He kept his health a top priority, as he barely drank alcohol or went out clubbing. He always tried to prepare himself for the best in each game he was playing. The training would go from 2 hours in July to even 5 hours in August. And due to this dedication,
I hope that I can help the team out as much as they think I'm going
only he played his last game when he was 40 years old and 35 days. And his assistance in steals record is likely to be never broken. Number 9, Herb Williams. He was the man of the moment in the NBA when he started his career in 1981. He retired from the game when he was 41 years and 129 days old. What happened in between the years is what will stun you. Starting his career, he had a good name in the court till 1992. But even after him not being the game changer for the team, teams needed big guys to give them their 6 fouls and make the game interesting. Williams stayed in the game for the next 7 years, being paid around $1 million every year. His average was 3 points per game and around 100 points per season, which means almost $1,000 for each point he scored. That's a huge deal for a player like him, who is nothing more than just a bench warmer. Number 8, Bob Cousy. Known as the best ball handler in the 50s, Bob is among those players who played for a long time on the court. He was the first ever superstar point guard in NBA history, whose first salary was $9,000. He was nicknamed the Houdini of the hardwood as he led the NBA in assists for 8 years and was an all-star in every single year of his career. He also helped Bill Russell win 6 NBA championships. At age 34, in 1963, he announced his retirement, crying in front of the huge crowd of the Boston Garden, who were equally touched. He still played in the playoffs, winning yet another NBA title. After retirement, he took a position as a coach for the Cincinnati Royals. He was paid well and he could do what he liked the most too. But when he was 41 years and 150 days old, he played as a player coach as many of his teammates were out of the game due to injuries. He played in 7 games, 34 minutes on the court, and scored 5 points and had 10 assists. He held the record as the oldest player in the modern NBA for 19 years. Number 7, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Starting off his career at the age of 22, Kareem never averaged less than 20 points per game, and he made sure that this persisted until he was 38. He starred in the 1978 movie Game of Death along with Bruce Lee, who introduced Kareem to martial arts and yoga. He credits Bruce Lee for making it this long in the game, as the training gave him strength and flexibility to play even into his 40s. Yoga was his kind of stretching before the game, and he is proud to inherit a good habit like that in his life. With a long and successful career of playing 1,560 games, With a total of 57,446 minutes on the court, he still holds the record of being the player with the longest time on the NBA floors. He retired from active sports in 1989 when he was 42 years and 6 days old. Incredible. Number 6. Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo Mpolando Mukamba Jean-Jacques Mutombo. His career in the NBA is as long as his name. He belonged to a rich African family before he moved to America in 1987 to play basketball. While he spent 4 years of his life in college, he played for Georgetown, and when he was almost 26, he got his debut in the NBA. Even though he was among the oldest in the 91 team, everyone else retired way before Mutombo, who retired when he was 42 years and 300 days old. What a legend! His specialty was his shot blocking, and with exactly 100 of them in his career, he possibly was still one of the most wanted players even in his 40s, in which his size also played a huge role. Number 5. Udonis Haslem. His actual retirement is yet to be confirmed as he still played, even though not actively. He's the only active player in today's list who is known to be a Heat legend, as he spent his whole career with the franchise after the 2002 draft. Before returning to the US, he used to play in France. For the Miami teams trust in him, as they believe him enough to make him their center. Udonis repaid them with amazing game spirit and leadership, helping them win 3 championships. He was a regular player till the 2015 season, but he and the team needed each other, making him continue his career these 8 years as a player and assistant coach. He played 100 games and scored 174 points in these 8 years. When he finally retires this year, as already confirmed, he will be weeks away from his 43rd birthday. Number 4. Vince Carter. Starting his career with the Golden State Warriors as their 5th pick in the 1998 draft,
select Vince Carter from the University of North Carolina.
Vince Carter was believed to be the next Michael Jordan, but as powerful as his moves and shots were on the court, he was equally selfish and lazy, throwing tantrums unlike an athlete. As time went by, he understood he had to change to stick to the game. Without entirely believing in his aerial superpowers, he kept his ego aside and started to be a team player. And with his amazing talent, he retained his position as a star player all these years as he played his 22nd NBA season in 2020, playing for the Atlanta Hawks along with teammates who were not even born when he was first drafted. He played his last game and 1,541st game and 3rd most in NBA history.
They're going to give it to Vince. He's going to take a 3.
When he was 43 years and 45 days old. Number 3. Robert Parrish. Known as the NBA's all-time leader, Robert has played 1,611 games. And including playoffs, it becomes 1,795 games, just 2 short of Kareem's career combined. He was also thankful for the yoga lessons he took while playing. He understood how flexibility could help him improve his game when he was embarrassed by himself, not being able to touch his own toes, unlike other older women in the yoga class. As a part of this, he completely gave up sugar and junk food, which made his journey for the first 20 years in the game much more effortless. He played 78 games per season, 3 championships in the 80s, and in 1997, in his last season, he won his 4th title, being 43 years and 254 days old. Number 2. Kevin Willis. Willis was drafted in the 1984 NBA draft. He's a player with all NBA selections and 1 NBA championship. While many of his contemporaries retired in 2003, Kevin made it till 2005, which he later unretired as he played in the 2007 season. He played 5 games for the Mavericks when he was 44 years and 224 days old. He currently stands 10th all-time in the NBA with 1,424 games. If he's not the oldest on the list, then who is? Let's see. Number 1. Nat Hickey. This name might be a bit unfamiliar to many as he played basketball in 1921 for the first basketball league, the American Basketball League. Before he became a coach, he retired from actively playing in 1942. Later, he unretired to play 2 games as a player coach in 1948. In 1949, BAA merged with MBL to form the NBA. Technically, he didn't play any NBA games, but the records of the earlier games were still kept with the NBA Association. When Nat finally played his game, he was just 2 days short of becoming 46 years old. And that's what we call sportsman spirit. I hope you loved the video. Show us love in the comment section and like this video. Until then, bye!